But here's a report from Fox News with some of these private text messages that Dr. Fauci had in his mobile, one of his mobile devices. So let's cover that.
Senator Ron Johnson, Senator Rand Paul have put out, they got a hold of his cell phone and they put out some of his text messages. I mean, there are thousands.
34,000.
So the one that stood out today is regarding what happened on January 25th, 2021, when he speculated openly to anybody on his text chain, quote, I asked around a bit, more than another issue came up that you need to be aware of. Since many people have significant cytokine storm and fever after their second dose, their second vaccine. This theoretically could be associated with miscarriage in the first trimester, theoretically. Dr. Walensky wrote back, definitely a good.
So theoretically, according to these text messages, that means in theory that if you took the vaccine while pregnant, you could have had a miscarriage. That was January 25th, 2021. So a doctor is saying theoretically, one of the main spokespersons for the 3 vaccines that was going around, I think it was what, Merida or something like that, Pfizer, and then some other brand that I didn't even know. Right. So theoretically, by your second dose, you could have had a miscarriage. Very strange for a, well, I don't think it's strange because the vaccine was rushed, but this man said these vaccines was completely safe and you were an idiot if you didn't take it. Let's hear what else he had to say.
Point, especially after dose 2. So here we are with this brand new vaccine. We wonder, should kids get it? We wonder what people should get it. And we also wonder if you're pregnant, should or want to be pregnant, should you take it? And the answer was, of course, everybody should take it. But behind the scenes, he worried about some of the things that he was hearing about and reading about.
But here he is encouraging everyone, including pregnant moms, to take it.
Thus far, with thousands of women who are pregnant, having gotten the vaccine following the EUA, there have been no red flags of anything that anyone would be worried about. There are severe outcomes for mother and baby during COVID-19 infection. Therefore, it is extremely important for pregnant women and women planning to get pregnant to get vaccinated.
Okay,
so yeah, no red flags, but that's.
That man looked right into that camera and lied directly to the American people's face. Everyone, right? This was a time when people were glued to the news looking for answers, looking for the next piece of valuable information from the experts. And yet this man got in front of the TV after these text messages and said he would suggest to pregnant people / women, right, that it was safe to take the vaccine, even though he had a theory that it can cause miscarriage. This is why people don't believe the media anymore, right? When everybody, my theory is this, when everybody is saying the same thing, it's a lie. It's a script. It's a script. Our news networks has grown too comfortable lying to us about the important stuff. It is what it is. Let's see what the Fox anchors had to say about that.
After he clearly, we now know, knew that there were red flags.
Okay, so the text messages with Dr. Walensky, also included on that text message was Dr. Vivek Murthy, who later became the Surgeon General. Walensky was the CDC director. So all 3 of them are on this text. He's saying, I'm worried that it could cause miscarriage in the first trimester. And she writes back, especially after dose 2. Then a month later, was that soundbite that you just heard when he's saying no red flags, women can get pregnant, women planning to get pregnant, they need to get vaccinated.
My bad, I was muted. It's always about the money, Unc. Remember Dave, the spokesperson for Subways? Subways Eat Fresh? He was the Dave for the vaccines, man. He was Dave's. His offshore's account, but like you said, busted out the seams, right? Tens of millions of dollars after the rollout of these vaccines. It's crazy. It's crazy that people was believing this stuff while he got rich. But then they want to be mad at the president because he's profiting while not taking a salary while he's in office, but had nothing to say with Biden offshore accounts and businesses that he had in Ukraine. Shit is bogus, bro.
So he's saying one thing in the text to these other experts. Why didn't any of those other two experts speak out? Why didn't the CDC director or the Surgeon General say, Dr. Fauci, you told us something different in our text messages a month ago. Are we lying to the American people? What if a woman is pregnant right now and she takes that second dose and she has a miscarriage? Is that our fault? Because we didn't tell the public the truth? What if you had a miscarriage in 2021? Are you like wondering now? Was it because of the vaccine? Dr. Fauci told me I was fine to take it. This is going to open a whole new can of worms. People are going to sue because they're going to.
And people, that's what a supervillain looks like. Get a good look at that. Let me make them big screen for you real quick. Get a good look at this man. That's what your modern day supervillain looks like. Going to plead the fifth 111 times when he's already got a presidential pardon. That's what he looks like. Look at his face. That's the face of evil. That's the face of evil right there. He didn't care what happened to you. He just got rich. He didn't care what happened to you. And his punk ass lawyer sitting to his left, sitting to his right. He didn't care. That's right. That's right, willing to win. Diabolical, bro. It's diabolical, bro. Look at him. This look like some. Remember when they had Iron Man at Congress in Iron Man 2? This is the real supervillain right here. For real, man. It's crazy. Same old, right? Psst. Shit is wild, huh? Shit is wild. That's why I don't believe nothing. Nothing. I just watch the numbers. Because the numbers ain't gonna lie. I just watch the numbers. Hard, concrete numbers. I don't let them tell me the numbers. I want to hear the numbers, see the numbers, and then experience the numbers in the real world.
To be so upset about this, they lost their children. How many children are, if this is true, if the vaccine did cause miscarriages, how many children are in heaven because of that misinformation?
And of course, this is not something that was not speculated and talked about among the great unwashed masses. We were all wondering about it and asking about it, asking penetrating questions about it. And we now know that this guy was lying about it and saying things behind closed doors, realizing that there was a real danger here, and then telling our wives, our friends, our daughters, our sisters that there was nothing to worry about.
And remember, Jimmy Kimmel and guys like Chuck Todd was screaming at you, how dare you not get vaccinated? How
dare you question this?
Yeah, how dare you question this? Here's Senator Roger Marshall, who's also an obstetrician.
They have subpoena power. They can have an independent investigation, and then they can prosecute as well. All Congress can do is expose the truth, or try to expose the truth, which is hard to do when a guy takes the fifth 111 times. A full 9/11 style commission would also be something that could work as well. But really,
damn, my bad, y'all. I was muted. I was saying it reminded me of the movie. Let me run it back. I was saying it reminded me of the movie 2012. When when the governor was on TV saying the earthquake, it'll pass and everything is going to be fine. California is going to be fine. And the husband was in the kitchen telling him to get in the fucking car, saying he's an actor. He's reading from a script. That's what these guys do. They read from a script and feed it to the American people. And don't you dare ask questions about it. Right? Don't ask questions. Don't use your common sense, because then they will assassinate you socially. If you was to use your common sense and start speaking the truth. It was so many doctors that lost their license that was talking about the people that they cured outside of using the vaccine of COVID-19. You know what I'm saying? With the turmeric and the releasing the diet that released the heavy metals out your system. People lost their license over that. They deplatformed you. They debanked you, right? They took people's careers. All for what? For the dollar. For the dollar, right? I believe the whole COVID experiment was it was a real virus. Let's not get it twisted. it was a real flu because I actually caught it. And ironically, I caught it after I got my 2 vaccines, right? And I got sick really bad. And ever since, it's like, if you sneeze on me, I'm gonna catch a cold, right? That's why I stay in the house so I don't get sick, right? It really messed up my immune system. My back started hurting, my chest started hurting. It's just wild. Yeah, I smoke my vape, but it's like, this is different, right? Body pains, aches, all happened after the vaccine. You feel me? When you take the vaccine, you feeling good. Like, remember the trend? Oh, I got superpowers after the vaccine. Remember that trend? I don't know what happened, but like, it did make you feel better initially. But then it's like, yo, like, you could, like, someone sneeze on you, you'll feel yourself getting sick immediately. It like, it totally obliterated the a healthy immune system after you took that shot. For most of us, actually.
They have subpoena power. They can have an independent investigation, and then they can prosecute as well. All Congress can do is expose the truth, or try to expose the truth, which is hard to do when a guy takes the fifth 111 times. A full 9/11 style commission would also be something that could work as well, but really it's going to be up to the Attorney General, I think. Does he want an independent counsel to go forward with this? This is a situation where there was so much power concentrated in one.
I believe you, Uncle Rick. They did put placebo some people and put the real thing. So that was cooking the books. They cooked the books with medical. Everyone that was willing to participate in taking the vaccine was a lab rat. I remember in New York, they was putting perfectly healthy people that was on ventilators and body bags. People was busting out the body bags perfectly fine, right? They'll just come put a ventilator on you, then put you in a body bag. That's strange. If the person is dead, why do they need a ventilator? And I thought you only put dead people in the body bag. So why would you put a ventilator on a person, a breathing machine on a person, then put them in a body bag? That makes no sense. That was strange. They was like, oh, so to keep people. Nah, it was just a big mess. So the numbers are cooked. We don't know who actually died from the vaccine or even COVID, because I remember, because my daughter's mother was pregnant with my daughter, right? I remember they actually kicked her out the hospital. If you died during COVID, they just marked it as a COVID death. You could have had a heart attack, COVID death. You know what I mean? You could have had a stroke, COVID death. Could have died from an asthma attack, COVID death. They were just marking. They was cooking the numbers, huh? They was cooking numbers. They was cooking the numbers the entire time. And fucking with people's will.
Person. This guy is drunk with power. He's created this. He helped create this virus. Gain of function was his thing for 20 years. He's been funding research for it. This virus gets loose from a lab, but this is very consistent with the rest of the story. Multiple times, Anthony Fauci tells his diary one thing, but the American public the other.
So that's just it. We don't expect everyone to understand in the real time about the pandemic. There were so many questions: where it came from, the origins of it, what do you do, how do you handle it? Remember ventilators? Turns out ventilators, everyone was well-meaning, but ventilators were killing people because they were exponentially making the disease worse. So they were killing people.
Just tell
no
the
one tried
truth.
to. Yeah.
That's all you have to do. And people can handle the complexity of it.
I don't know.
Right. But tell the truth.
That's the problem. There were a lot of well-meaning people.
Yeah.
But when you say one thing in January and you're telling the public something else in February, that's a lie.
While denying that you said that in January.
Correct.
Yeah, and that's why people don't believe anything that the quote unquote experts got to say about anything. You're not an expert. The ventilators was killing people. I can explain how the ventilators was killing people. What was that on? Fear is one of the most strongest motivators. Absolutely. They were fear mongering, right? I remember the old governor of New York was offering free Shake Shack fries if you took the vaccine. What? You want me to take a shot for some fries? What? And to no surprise, a lot of people took the fries. They got the shot for the fries. You feel me? And oh yeah, back to what I was saying. I can explain how the vaccine. Let me remove this. I can explain how the vaccine was killing people too. What happens is when you're on a ventilator, right? When you're on a ventilator, right? The oxygen crystallizes. Hold on, somebody ringing my bell. Hold on, y'all. Wasn't even nobody for me at the door. I hate that. Yeah, the ventilators basically crystallize the oxygen in your lungs, making it more difficult for you to breathe. And that's how people were dying on the ventilators, right? They suggested the ventilators to help people breathe, but taking pure oxygen for 24, 48 hours, 72 hours for 2 weeks at a time, your lungs are not going to be able to work properly. And that's how people was dying. So yes, they were killing people with these ventilators. And that's what was happening. That's what was happening. What they say? You shouldn't be on the ventilator for more than 72 hours. Exactly. They had people on the ventilators for a week at a time, take them off for 72 hours and put them back on the ventilator. Your lungs ain't going to work after that. We're not fish. We don't have gills. We don't need that much pure oxygen. That's just not how the human bodies work. And it's a shame that I'm not even a medical MD. And I know that because of simple science that I remembered from high school. Right? The science didn't change. Bro created this virus. If you ever read the back of your Lysol can pre-COVID, the COVID virus exists, but only amongst animals. It wasn't transferable to humans. And it damn sure wasn't airborne. This Dr. Fauci mutated the virus and made it harmful to humans. For what? For a couple of $1 million, a few million. That's why you can't put past, you can't, well let me find the words right. You can't underestimate what people are going to be willing to do for a couple dollars. Because you just never know. You just never know what someone's willing to do for a couple of dollars. Had the whole country on lockdown except the South. The South was like, bump that, we opening up. They got space. They got 6 feet. Oh, man. Make sure y'all liking the video. Thanks for everybody that's being here. Let me give y'all a round of applause. I appreciate the support. Cash App scrolling at the top. Buy me a Red Bull if you feel like it.